Oh, okay, it's on. Hello, Matt here with TappingTruth, and very quickly, and I'll be making a second video to follow this one, but I'm having issues with QuickTime and recording, and I'm new to all this. I will be addressing in this video something known as ego, and it's nothing Freudian or what you might suspect that it is, that you likely may be suspecting. Now, why is it important to understand ego for any other video that I create? Well, ego is responsible for all conflicts, all insecurities, pretty much just about all of the problems, including roadblocks in your education and learning, in relationships, everything that you can imagine. So, with that said, I'd now like to get into the 3 different steps of this exercise. Now, after each exercise, or each step of the exercise, go ahead and pause the video, and then right after you unpause, it'll then have the second and third step. And please do not skip ahead the steps. I mean, you could, probably not a good idea because you're going to be confused. So, step number 1. Be idle at this very moment. Stop everything that you're doing and just be idle, okay? And this will only take about a minute. You can even go for 30 seconds. In fact, you're probably not even going to last that long. I kid you not. So this first step, stop all of the thoughts that you're having. So just shut off your thinking, okay? And I just want you to notice how when you try and do this, it's very unlikely that you'll be successful. When you do this, you'll notice thoughts flooding your mind. Now, depending on your lifestyle and things that are going on in your life, you might have a little bit of thoughts, or you might have a lot, an overwhelming amount, or you can't even frickin' process any of it. Try that, and then unpause this video. So pause it now, try it. That's step 1. And come back, and then we'll go to step 2. Okay, welcome back. Assuming that you've done step 1 now. Step 2, do the very same thing. I just had some spaghetti. Step 2, do the very same thing, but this time, instead of just looking at these thoughts flooding into your mind, I'd like you to use all of your willpower and concentration to try and stop the thoughts from coming in. So all incoming thoughts, try to stop them with your willpower, with your mental willpower, okay? So pause the video. You can do it for about the same amount of time or however you see fit. Come back, and then we'll go to step 3, which is how to stop these thoughts. Okay, welcome back again. This is the 3rd step of the exercise, which I do not have a name for as of yet. But hopefully, you are able to see what it is I am speaking about. Okay, so this 3rd step, this time I'm going to show you how to stop the thoughts. This is very important, and I will explain later. Probably, yeah, I'll do it in another video. Why it is that this is so important if you aren't able to figure it out for yourself already. And I am going to assume that you have the common sense to figure it out, albeit it might take a while to figure out. So, 3rd step, how do you actually stop the thoughts from coming in? Well, you already tried with your willpower and all of your focus and concentration, right? All of your mental fortitude. So assuming that you did that, you found that that was next to, if not impossible, almost comical when you think about it in hindsight, maybe not. So this time, do the very same thing, which is be idle. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Same procedure. But instead of trying to stop the thoughts, let the thoughts come in and just accept them for whatever they are. So whether it's good or bad, neutral, same thoughts, whatever thoughts come to your mind, don't intentionally try and think of things, just watch them come in, and instead of stopping them, however hard you may find this to be, and this one is the hardest part. This one you might have to practice until you can finally actually achieve any results from doing this. So accept the thoughts. Don't try to block them, obstruct them, prevent them. Just let them come. And the key here is to not respond to these thoughts when they come in. And when I first did this exercise, it really sent a chill up my spine of enlightenment and awakening, you could say. And everything else really made sense to me for my whole life because I was never taught this. But you'll see for yourself, depending on what you know and what you don't, and how mindful you already are, you're going to see different results. So to each their own. Try that. And let me know how that goes for you. So come back. So pause it, try it, come back. And then we'll go ahead and wrap up this video, this training series. And then I will begin production on the next video, which I'm not sure when it's coming, but just do that. Okay, so in conclusion, wrapping everything up, let me know how challenging it was, if at all, for you to do the third step of this unnamed exercise, okay? For me, it was kind of challenging. It was a bit hard, and it took me several attempts for several minutes per attempt to finally actually see some results where I could just let the thoughts come, just to accept them and not try and stop them. So let me know what your experience was, if you care to share, and I encourage you to, so other people don't feel like their experience is completely unique and that they can't relate to anyone else. So just share in the comment section, and I will go ahead and sometime in the future, not sure when, it could be as soon as tomorrow, within about a week, I will have the follow-up video addressing more about this entity, also known as the ego, or the ego mind. You can do some research on it on your own, but if you'd rather learn through me, since you've already begun this exercise, it'll probably make more sense if you just go ahead and wait for that next video to come up. But in that video, I will be addressing more about what the ego actually is, even though I gave a very brief description recently in the beginning of this video. But I'll be describing more on what the ego actually is and where it comes from, and just more information. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that exercise. If you didn't get too much from it, or you're having problems, just leave a comment, ask a question, any question, or feel free, and I encourage you to repeat that exercise and see if you can go even for a longer time, okay? And be very careful, because this ego is so tricky, so subtle, that it'll actually get you to think about not thinking. So just kind of look out for that voice, you might say, that's trying to get you to think and identify with something, okay? And if you're doing that, if you end up thinking, and you won't even notice it when it happens, but eventually you will, but at first it'll just, so you could be sitting there for anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes, or the whole thing, and you're thinking, don't even realize it, which is kind of funny. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.